Yeah.
Oh na na, oh na na, oh. I wanna love you and treat you right. I wanna love you every day and every night. We'll be together with the roof right over our heads. We'll share the shelter of my single bed. We'll share the same room, yeah, where Jah provides the bread. Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? Oh, is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? Oh, baby. See, I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know now. I got to know, got to know, got to know now. Yeah, I'm willing and able. So I throw the cards on the table.
Ìyàwó mi, olólùfẹ́ mi, ọ̀rẹ́ mi, aláyọ̀ mi, I will love you forever. Ìyàwó mi, olólùfẹ́ mi, ọ̀rẹ́ mi, aláyọ̀ mi, I will love you forever. Check it out. See, my baby, yeah. My baby, yeah. My baby.
Gentlemen, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may we please be seated. May we settle down for the event proper. Thank you. May we settle down for the event proper. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful, wonderful evening tonight at the great homecoming. The great homecoming, amazing, a gathering of all the alumni of the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos from 1962, I believe. Amazing. 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 May we settle down. I know the reunion is big, it's huge. You're seeing each other for the first time in a long time. Although I believe this is the conclusion of a 5-day program, so you've been seeing each other for a while. One another for a while, I mean. May we settle down. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the University of Lagos Law Alumni Relations Committee and Faculty of Law 2022 Great Homecoming Dinner. My name is Lepasius Bosse and I will be your host tonight. Hope and I believe that we're going to have an amazing evening. I will be recognizing some distinguished personalities, but I would like to acknowledge the fact that every single person here is special, every single person here is important, every single person here has attained, and therefore we cannot deny your achievements. So therefore I celebrate you this evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome, and once again, you are most welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to recognize the presence of the chairman of today's event. Please welcome and receive with me Mr. Kanu Agabi, SAN. Mr. Kanu Agabi, SAN, the former Attorney General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Minister of Justice. We celebrate you, sir. You're welcome. You're welcome, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, let's also recognize our special guest of honor. I will be recognizing properly when he steps into the hall. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, let me move on to the guests of honor that are present. I would like to recognize and celebrate the Honorable Justice Kudirat Kekere Eko, the Justice of the Supreme Court. Please put your hands together for her. You're welcome. You're welcome. We celebrate you, ma'am. We would also like to celebrate and recognize the presence of Chief Wole Olanipekun, SANOFR. We celebrate you, sir. You're welcome. We'll also like to recognize and celebrate the presence of His Excellency, the former governor of Ekiti State, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Otuba Adeniyi Adebayo, CON. Okay, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that without the Faculty of Law, there will be no gathering such as this. So we have to celebrate and recognize the Faculty of Law. Can you please put your hands together for the great Faculty of Law, University of Lagos. I'd like to, at this point, recognize and bring up stage immediately for a few words the Dean of the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos. Please make welcome and celebrate with me, Professor Ige Boledeoku. Please put your hands together for Professor Ige Boledeoku. You're welcome, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is yet to arrive, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, SAN, GCON, our special guest of honor for the night, Chairman of the occasion, Mr. Kanu Agabi, SAN, CON, our guests of honor, Honorable Justice Kudirat Kekere Eko, Justice of the Supreme Court, other justices of our Superior Court that are here, guests of honor, Otumba Adeniyi Adebayo, Minister of Industries, Trade and Investment, CON, Chief Wole Olanipekun, SANOFR, Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Mr. Ade Ipaye, the Vice Chancellor of our university, our great university, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, FAS, the Deputy Vice Chancellors here present, Deputy Vice Chancellor A and R, that's Academics and Research, Deputy Vice Chancellor DS, Development Service, Deputy Vice Chancellor MS, Management Services, members of the University Management, distinguished alumni of the faculty, heads of department of the faculty, my colleagues in the faculty, and our great students of the faculty. Now, it has been a wonderful week, a very fascinating one. It's productive, it's unforgettable. We've had so far a very unforgettable week. And I want to thank, at this point, the ingenuity of the Alumni Relations Committee for bringing together all of the programs for this particular week. Aside the interaction in classroom, we also had the colloquium where we invited all of our past alumni, great alumni, to participate in a two-leg colloquium. one dealing with the stare decisis, where we explore the importance of stare decisis to our economy, to our politics, and of course, to our everyday transactions. After that, we had another set of alumni to look at the culture of excellence and share their experiences with us, how the culture of excellence in University of Lagos had made them what they are today. It was indeed fascinating for every one of us, particularly for our students. This event is another one that we have organized, and I know that at the end of the day, the real purpose and of course one of the significance of the dinner or this gathering will come up. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of our alumni who perhaps left the faculty 40 years ago, or between 35 and 40, the faculty of law that you left is not the same faculty today. And let me say this, that in terms of student demography, we have now about 2,000 students in the faculty of law. We have 57 academic staffs in the faculty. 17 of these staff are professors. 6 of them are associate professors, and 13 are senior lecturers. 7 are lecturer 1, and 14 we have as lecturer 2. You could see indeed that in all of this, the faculty is doing a very fantastic work, in terms of succession. And I'm confident that even when the crop of professors that are there now are leaving, there are so many of our colleagues that will take over from them. The faculty has a building that has stood there since 1962, 3 floors. It was just recently that it was vertically extended to the 4th floor. My position is that that faculty, that building, no longer befits a faculty of first choice, a faculty that is of nation's pride. So I will be appealing today to this body of great alumni to look at what the faculty is today and then realize that we no longer have a space that can accommodate us comfortably. And therefore, the faculty needs a new building. And I'm confident that after living here, we would have a sufficient number of alumni that would indeed begin to work on this for the faculty. The faculty actually can boast of the number 2 citizens of the Federal Republic, the Vice President, and number 4 citizens of the Federal Republic, the Speaker of the Representative, and of course so many excellencies of the state, so many ministers, and the faculty is that our building, and we need a new building. A new building that can give us the kind of comfort we have to operate, a new building that will match indeed our status as the nation's pride and the faculty of first choice. You have performed wonderfully. You have been, over the years, our development partners. Many times we have called on you, you have answered us. And at this point in time, you have demonstrated in giving back to the faculty, and we appreciate every one of you that have answered our calls, responded to our calls, and given back to the faculty. And I want to reiterate that we require and we need your support. It's a continuous support because we see you as our support partner, as our development partner. And at this point, I'm wishing every one of us a very wonderful night. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. The Dean, Faculty of Law, University of Lagos, the Faculty of First Choice. I agree, because almost everybody that I know that studied English or French or communication, it was law they chose first. It was when law did not give them admission, they said, I can still do English. Then I will change in 200 level. Then when they get to 200 level, nothing happens. Then they say, maybe I'll do JAMB again. Let me go to 300 level. Before you know it, they finish studying English or studying French, and then they will now say, Abi, can I use it for second degree? and they come back to the faculty. Hopefully, some of them make it, some of them don't. I am one of the ones that made it. I studied theater arts first, and then I went back to the university to study law. And I remember when I graduated from faculty of law, I came back home from law school actually, at Abuja. I came back home and I told my mom that I will not be practicing law. And my mother said, why? I said, because they don't pay lawyers well. I said, they don't pay us well. I said, a fresh lawyer is collecting 15,000 naira. One law book is 25,000 naira. How will I survive? I said, I want to go to another profession. She said, eh? So what do you want to do? I said, I want to be a comedian. She said, Egbami, you want to be a comedian. I sent you to law school so that people can be calling me Mama Dilo. So it was not about me, it was about her. This is about her reputation. So that people can be calling me Mama Dilo. You now want to disgrace this family. You want to go and become a comedian. What will be your stage name? I said, the Precious Bosses. She said, I bind that name in this house. I cancel that name in this house. In fact, I neutralized the name. I did not argue with her. And, well, I know most of you are very academic, so you may not have known me in those days, but in those days I was really massive. I was weighing 210 kg. And I jumped off the fence. I went to go and perform comedy. I came back and dashed my mother 50,000 naira in one day. My mother was a school teacher. State school teacher. Her salary was not up to 50K. So when I gave her 50,000 naira in one night, my mother looked at me. She said, Lekpa. 2 weeks later, I jumped the fence again. I came back and gave my mother 100,000 naira. She looked at me. She said, Lekpa, baby. By the third time, I did not need to jump any fence. I walked out of the gate by myself. I came back and I dashed her 250,000 naira. My mother said, the Precious Bosset, you were only 3 months in this my stomach when I knew by the Spirit of God you would be a comedian. Money can change anybody's mind. So today my mother is very, very contented with my comedy career. She's no longer asking me, but well, I will not lie. Anytime she hears that somebody becomes a son and the person is a woman, you say, Bosse, don't you just get inspired just to practice? I'll be like, Mommy, don't you get inspired by the money I give you? Well, it's a privilege to stand here with distinguished people, excellent people, and it's also a privilege to be able to introduce one of the most amazing personalities that Nigeria can boast of. The chairman of the homecoming dinner, ladies and gentlemen, will be coming up to say a few words. Please welcome with me Mr. Kanu Godwin Agabi, S-N-C-O-N. Please put your hands together for him as he comes forward. A distinguished gentleman indeed. A product of the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos, making Faculty of Law, University of Lagos proud and making people want to send their children to the same school. You're welcome, sir. I celebrate you.
I have to sanitize my hands. Whereas what I really need to sanitize is my heart. I wish we had something to sanitize the heart. May God bless you all. My lords, your excellencies, learned senior advocates, my dear brothers and sisters in Christ, permit me please to stand on the protocol that has been recited and address you for a few minutes. As I sat there and observed the dean addressing us, I realized that there was something I didn't have, a bow tie. So when I go back, I must buy a bow tie. If you look closely, you will find that I was struggling with this tie before coming here. I need to buy a bow tie. Dean, thank you very much. You can't come to Lagos and go back without learning something new. The Dean of Law in my time was Professor Taslim Olawale Elias. He was not just Dean of Law, he was Minister of Justice of the Federation. And he went from there to become the Chief Justice of Nigeria. It is men like Elias who laid the foundation upon which we are trying to build today. And when you look at the achievements of the faculty, you can agree that he laid a truly solid foundation. Give Elias a hand, please. I wrote down the little that I have to say so that I don't stray. I thank all who made sacrifices to bring us together. I congratulate all you illustrious and distinguished products of the Faculty of Law of the University of Lagos. Please give yourselves a hand. I always say that we are a nation of good people. That's what Nigeria is. A competent nation, very intelligent, very resilient, very hardworking, a God-fearing nation. When you say this, some people say, look, we're not God-fearing, we are pretenders. That's not correct. We are a God-fearing nation. And the reason why this nation has survived till now is because of the work of the church. Give the church a hand. If you take away the church, the nation would long since have perished. So we're good people. We have a problem with the leadership, but it will pass. We have survived many calamities. Please, thank you very much. This is a gathering of educated and refined men and women bonded by the fact that we are all products of the Faculty of Law of the University of Lagos. And it is remarkable. There are Christians here, there are Muslims here. We come from the east, we come from the west, we come from the north, we come from the south. We are bonded by one thing, membership of this Faculty of Law. And that is a good sign. It is a sign that we are moving forward. All these boundaries we talk about, states and all that, they are not things of the future. Boundaries are collapsing. Please, they are. And the nation is united. Right now we're not doing well. But the truth is the nation is united. And you can see it in this hall. Look, I'm a Bekwara man. Many of you have not even heard that word before. But you appointed me chairman. That is a sign that the nation is moving forward. Give yourselves a hand. I always appeal to the nation to be more positive about the country. Don't brand it corrupt. Don't be negative about it. We are a good people, and we shall get there. We celebrate this ceremony, as it were, in the midst of bloodshed, misery, and uncertainty. We do so not because we are indifferent, but as a mark of our determination that we shall not give up. We have hope. We shall not celebrate violence or intolerance or corruption. It is peace and love and truth and harmony that we shall celebrate. That is what this reunion is about. There is urgent need to encourage the nation to be positive, and that is what we are here to do. We are here to say how grateful we are to the institution that gave us knowledge and saved us from ignorance. Thank you, Unilag. Thank you, the Faculty of Law. When the MC spoke, she told the story of the problem she had convincing her mother that she wanted to be a comedian. I often tell young lawyers the story of the fox and the fish. The fox said to the fish, I observe that you are swimming distractedly all the time. Why don't you rest in the water? Why can't you rest for a moment? And the fish said, the reason I can't rest is because they have set so many traps here to catch me. And I must swim distractedly to escape them. Then the fox said, please, come and join me. There are no traps in my home. You will be safe with me. Now, that fish was very wise. The fish said, as dangerous as it is in my home, it must be more dangerous elsewhere. I'm not going. Now, how does it apply to us, young lawyers? We have difficulties. But if you're a lawyer and you're having difficulties, it will be far more difficult elsewhere. Because this is your profession. It is meant to be difficult. And if you apply yourself to it conscientiously, you will make it. When young lawyers tell me they want to leave the profession, I tell them that I cannot encourage you to leave, because I have been in the profession for 49 years now. And how can I tell you to leave it? Therefore, linger in it for 49 years. And if you don't make it, you can then leave. I think I speak for you. I will take just another 1 minute and stop. I think I speak for you when I say that we feel proud to be counted among the alumni of the Faculty of Law of the University of Lagos. What on earth would we have been had we not been lawyers? You may know a colleague who has died. I know many of my colleagues who have died. You may know one who has been convicted and is in prison. I know many of my clients who have been convicted and are in prison. So I thank God. You may know one who is poor and miserable. Look around you and see millions whose conditions are worse than yours. Thank the Lord that you have done well as you have done. It has been a great struggle. We share in the sorrows and anxieties of society. The Lord gives us the grace to do so. And so we gather as we have gathered to thank Him. We are gathered tonight to thank the Lord. When we look back, we may imagine that we could have done much better than we have done. So please, before we leave tonight, let us dedicate our lives. I'm going to pass this on to Funke. Funke, thank you very much for bringing me here. Funke Agbo, are you there? Thank you very much indeed. Please, may the Lord bless Funke and bless all those who organize this. The Lord bless you all. It shall be well with Nigeria. We shall unite from east to west, from north to south. We are one people. All these boundaries will not be boundaries of the future. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, a round of applause for the distinguished Mr. Godwin Agabi. You're welcome, sir. You know, when he was saying, God bless you, I remember my favorite prayer, and I'm going to say it to you too. May God bless you. May God bless you according to your size. Why didn't you answer? I know the people that will answer. Somebody there is already shouting amen. Because if God decides to bless us according to our size, you will be controlling billions. But I know some people that they are very close to the Lord. You know, they are very close like that in size. If you say God bless them according to their size, they will say no, they don't want it. So now, that reminds me of what I used to be like when I was big. I was big and I wanted to lose weight, and I said,
what are we going to do about this weight loss? They said I should go to gym. I went to gym. Everybody in the gym was skinny. I was the only fat person in the gym. I got discouraged. I left gym. Then somebody suggested to me, they said, go and swim. I said, swim, Bao. They said, swimming is good. That is the only place fat people shine. I said, how? They said, because fat people float in water, slim people sink. I said, let me go and try this swimming. Number one, it took me 4 months to find a swimming suit that was my size. Then it took me another 4 hours for people to help me. Please note that I said people, not only me. People helped me to wear the swimsuit. Then I walked to the swimming area confidently. When I got there, I saw people in the pool coming out of the water. Honestly, I thought they were coming out because they recognized that I was the fashion person and I was a popular person. So I was feeling very important, you know. As they were coming out, I was feeling good. Then when I jumped in the water, I knew why they all came out. Yes, because as soon as I landed in the water, all the water came out. Only me remained missing. It was a very interesting way of discovering that fat people do not float in water. Ladies and gentlemen, still moving on with the program, please help me welcome. You know that there can be no faculty of law if there is no University of Lagos. And the university houses the faculty. So technically, the landlord of today's event, the landlord that we are paying the faculty rent to, is here present. Ladies and gentlemen, he's not here alone, he's here with his very lovely wife, sitting quietly and eyeing me. We have an understanding. I will not tell them auntie on the microphone, but it's okay. I know you love me. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me the Vice Chancellor, University of Lagos, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, FAS. Did I get it properly? Because Prof is very particular about those kind of things. Professor Ogundipe, the Vice Chancellor, University of Lagos. You're welcome, sir. Yes.
I want to return all the glory to the Almighty God. The chairman of this special occasion, senior advocate of Nigeria, and alumnus of the University of Lagos. Before I proceed, I know many of you left University of Lagos several years ago, but one way or the other, you will still remember the great Akokite. So let's celebrate ourselves by saying great Akokite. You can see the difference between the students and the alumni because your voices are blocked with money, either in naira or dollar, especially my Ebon like Olanipekun and other sounds that are here. Great Akokite! Great Akokite! Greatest of the greatest of the greatest Akokite! Wow, so they still remember the time when we go to those debates. The chairman of this special occasion, Mr. Kanu Agabi, SAN, the special guest of honor who is on his way, Professor Yemi Oshiba, SAN, GCON, who just on Thursday was very glad that we took the touch of unity concerning the Unilag gains to Castle Rock. We want to also recognize all the senior advocates that are here, the judges that are here. I'm just building up my case because of what I want to request from you. So that's why I'm celebrating you, the judges. We don't need to go to court today. We are here to celebrate our alma mater, the University of Lagos. We pride ourselves as the University of Cultures and Nations Pride. Also, the former governor of the state, who is here today. His Excellency King Daniel, all of us, I want to celebrate you. I want to say the University of Lagos remains the University of Cultures and the nation's pride. I'm here to align myself with the request by the Dean of the Faculty of Law. The first request I'm going to make is concerning the present building of the Faculty of Law. We were able to approach Alhaji Femi Okuno for the additional floor to that building. After doing the normal soil tests, and they found that we can add another additional floor to that building. We got the support because, by the grace of God, part of the visions that God gave me when He told me to apply 2017, and that was why I said, God is the Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos. I'm just an instrument in His hand. He gave me the vision of 3P. Pick a project, pick a person, pick a program. Don't give me any money. I don't need your money. What I want is for you to fund a particular project in the University of Lagos. And when some people ask me, what do you want to be remembered for? I said, I want to be remembered as a man who emptied himself so as to improve on what I met on ground when I came in as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos. And to the glory of God, within 4 years, there is no university that can boast of that. We have been able to get research grant of over 17 billion naira. Over 17 billion naira. There is no investor in this country that can talk about it. Even in Faculty of Law, they have research grants at the national level and international level. There's a challenge I want to throw before this gathering, because when you talk about alumni owns the university, whether we believe it or not. The university belongs to the alumni. We talk about Harvard, that they are able to generate about $3 billion in a year. What is happening in Nigeria? Yes, with my little experience as the representative of God as the Vice Chancellor, 4 years and maybe 3 months, because as my Lord liveth, come November 11th, no matter what the storm may be, I will be stepping up as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos. By 12th of November 2022, another Vice Chancellor will resume in the University of Lagos. One thing that I want to say, people will always say that, oh, you are not talking to the alumni. We talk to the alumni. They listen to us. The advancement office is there. What have we done to improve on the facility that we have in the University of Lagos? We approach friends of the university and they do something for us. In the 4 years, 3 months that I have spent on behalf of God as the Vice Chancellor, we have been able to get more support from the friends of the university than the alumni of the University of Lagos. Please pardon me for this, my comment. When I step down, maybe I will not eat. I will be asked to excuse this gathering. But I must say the truth. I must say the truth. The HRDC building, a friend of the university spent over 200 million naira to improve on that facility. The Natural History Museum that we have now, a friend of the university, Alhaji Femi Okuno, did not finish structure, or the facility cost him more than 100 million naira. Alhaji Femi Okuno is over 80-something years old now. And they are doing the exit stairs, costing more than 30-something million naira. We have been talking to the alumni of the Faculty of Law for us to have a lift for the physically challenged student to that 4th floor. We have not gotten any support or anybody saying, we are going to do it. That's why I say, I'm sorry, I will speak my mind, but pardon me. It's only, I think, my friend, that is Professor Odita, I don't know if he's here, that sometimes ago came in with the support for that Faculty of Law. I want to challenge the alumni of the Faculty of Law. As we are seated here, let us think about what we are going to put back into that system. We talk about Harvard, we talk about Cambridge. Very simple, very simple. It's good to talk, but to get everything going well is a problem. Harvard can generate $3 million in a year. Cambridge can generate £2 million in a year. What are we going to contribute to move the University of Lagos forward? We may say that that is their culture in Cambridge, in the US, in UK, to sow back into the system that is not our culture in Nigeria. But now, things are getting better. I want to challenge all the alumni that are here. Please, let us look back. Let us do something to move that university forward. In terms of academic, in terms of research, that university is recognized locally and at the international level. For our students, in the area of entrepreneurship, in the area of innovation, our students are doing very well. In the area of our community contribution, concerning the surrounding community around us, we are doing a little bit, but not good, because of the hostile environment that we have around us. So I want to challenge you, as we are seated here, what are we going to do to improve on the facility that we have in the Faculty of Law? 3-4 years ago, our Faculty of Law was denied accreditation. Why? Because of moot courts. Today, on that 4th floor, we have a moot court. On that 4th floor, we have the furniture in that place sponsored by TED Fund. Now, there is need for additional building in the Faculty of Law. We have the drawing. If you want it to be scaled down, if you want to scale it up, with the caliber of people that that faculty has produced, I believe that we should be able to add another building to the Faculty of Law. It should be one that we'll be proud of. Please, I'm a botanist. I'm not a lawyer, but I want to challenge the lawyers, the alumni that are here. Let us look back and do something concerning the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos, University of First Choice, and the nation's pride. I want to congratulate the chairman of the Alumni Relations Committee, distinguished Professor Taiwo Shibutan SAN, for bringing this together. I know what you will have gone through to bring this caliber of people together. But I am saying what I want as a fundraiser and as a public relation of that university. I want money. The money is to build to have an additional building for the Faculty of Law. I want a lift in the present Faculty of Law building so as to take the physically challenged students from the ground floor to the 4th floor. Thank you for accepting me the way I am. God bless us all.
Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor, University of Lagos, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, FAS. Please, one more time, can we put our hands together for him? You know, when he was talking and he he said something about church or God, then I remembered that growing up, we used to attend churches where they used to tell us about spiritual things. So they told us in church, they said, anything you see in your dream will affect your destiny. If you eat in your dream, it will affect you. If you sleep in your dream, it will affect you. So anything you notice, immediately call your parents and tell them so that your parents can tell the pastor, and the pastor can know how to do deliverance for you. Simple as ABC, right? My brother called me and said, Boss, we can use this thing to make money. I said, make money from a preaching again? How is that possible? He said, watch me. The first night, 2 a.m. in the morning, my brother shouted from his sleep, Daddy, chocolate, yo. They are giving me chocolate in my dream. My father said, they are giving you chocolate. Don't collect it. He went to the market, he bought cartons of chocolate. He said, eat it when you are awake. Don't eat it when you are sleeping. I said, oh, this is the game. This will work. So I waited. I did not want it to be 2 a.m. just in case he gets another dream. So by 1:30 on the dot, I had my own dream. I shouted, Daddy, jeans! They are giving me jeans in my sleep. My father said, jeans? Don't collect it. The next day, he went into the market. 6 Ghana must go of jeans. Jeans skirt, jeans boo-boo, jeans blouse, jeans jacket. He said, wear it when you are awake. Don't wear it when you are sleeping. When my brother and I started negotiating who was going to dream next, we suddenly heard my mother at 1 a.m. in the morning. My mother shouted, Daddy, this, yo, this. They are giving me this in my dream. We say, Wahala, this woman has entered this game. Oh, hey, my father said, don't collect it. He went to the market the next day. He bought 6 Ghana must go of lace, orishi for my mommy. He said, wear it when you are awake. Don't wear it when you are sleeping. Oh, Shebi, we have done one. Shouldn't my mother just be mommy and allow me to have the next dream? No. 12:30 in the night, we heard my mother's voice again. Daddy, gold, they have brought gold, yo. These people brought gold to my dream. My father said, gold again. He entered market the next day. White gold, yellow gold, blue gold, Dubai gold, Mecca gold. They say, take it when you are awake. Don't wear it when you are sleeping, no. My brother said, the way we are going, this woman will spoil this business. So we better start dreaming our dream at 12 or 11:30. We agreed. My mother was just watching 9 o'clock news. She had not even worn her nightgown. She was just watching news. My mother now did like this as if she was dozing. Suddenly, we just heard my mother shouting, Daddy! Daddy! G-Wagon! Whoa! They are giving me G-Wagon in my sleep. My father said, collect it now. Who is holding you? That is how that business was destroyed till today. Till today, nobody has been dreaming in my family. Nobody, you are not allowed to dream again. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. At this point, I would like to bring up a distinguished professor. You know, when they say somebody is distinguished, hey. But the few times I have met this great man, he is absolutely easygoing, simple. You would expect that it would be very stiff and proper, but absolutely always wonderfully pleasant every time I see him. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me extreme pleasure and honor to bring to the microphone for his remarks the distinguished Professor Taiwo Oshepiton, SAN, who is the chairman, Alumni Relations Committee. Amazing, gentlemen. Please keep clapping till he gets here. Celebrate him. You're welcome, sir. By the way, he made sure all this place was looking like this. You're welcome, sir.
The chairman, Mr. Kanu Agabi, SAN, the vice president, our own Professor Yemi Oshibajo, SAN, GCON. Let me play safe by standing on the existing protocol because the time is fast spent. But again, in so doing, I would also like to recognize management staff of the university. We have 2 of our deputy vice chancellors here, 3 of them. We have 3 in the university, and all the 3 are here. Professor Familoni with his lovely wife, Professor Ashenua, and Professor Chuku, you are welcome. I would also like to recognize our own students who are here. We brought them to inspire them, 40 of them from Faculty of Law. Great Akokites. Great Akokites. Greatest of the greatest of the greatest Akokites. You can hear them there. Thank you. You are welcome. Where do I start from? Vice Chancellor Zibika Ijebuman has thrown a challenge. He wants money. Where is the VC? Okay. He wants money. He will have money. But again, there are also ways of doing things. Today, we have University of Lagos. that name is a good brand. An attempt was made to change that name from University of Lagos to Moshood Abiola University. 6 alumni, ably led by Chief Wole Olanipekun, we all went to court to stop that from happening. And we did not charge the university. Is it possible to monetize that one, sir? Well, Chief Olanipekun is here, is our leader, and I'm sure that at the right time, we'll do the needful. The journey began, today's event began about 2.5 years ago. I got a marching order from my Aburo, who was my dean, and today our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Ashenewa. She said, you have alumni intervention, year sets. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, a year set of some individuals actually renovated the faculty annex and other things. But she was not asking for a structured intervention. Now, why don't you bring all of them together under one umbrella? And if it is lift we are asking for, we ask everybody to donate towards lift. If it is bus, rather than each year set trying to do one thing or the other. So this explains why we are here. I got that marching order, and then we went to the drawing table. We began, but COVID-19 disrupted us from going ahead in April 2020 when we were ready to go on. But that is, the rest is history. Today we are here, and we thank God for the gift of life. The Faculty of Law is one of the pioneer faculties of University of Lagos. When the university was established in 1962, that faculty was one of the faculties established for the university. Ever since then, the faculty has produced many graduates, captains of the industry, fit-for-purpose lawyers, and so on and so forth. You have them as professors, you have them as deputy vice chancellors, you have them as vice presidents of the nation, and you also have the Speaker of the House of Representatives. I know of no university that can boast of having, at the same time, a sitting vice president along with the Speaker of the House of Representatives at the same time. No other university can boast of that. Again, we look at ourselves, and today, from inception till today, the statistics show that we have in Nigeria 692 senior advocates of Nigeria, both dead and living. But out of that 692, University of Lagos has grabbed not less than 100 out of 692. Again, we also went to the Supreme Court. It has a full complement of 17 justices. Out of those 17 justices, 4 of them, sitting justices of Supreme Court, are also from University of Lagos. Court of Appeal, well over 30. So the list is endless. So we have cause to roll out the drums and celebrate. But in so celebrating, we would also want to assure the university that we will do what we need to do. And this explains why what we have now is an alumni relations committee. That committee was conceived by Professor Ashenewa, and it is the task of Professor Boliodeku to midwife that committee and let it transit from a committee to an alumni relations association. Very soon, my able colleague, Mrs. Funke Agbo, SAN, would educate us on what we want to do in terms of transiting from an alumni relations committee to an association. Well, without wasting time, when the Vice Chancellor threw the challenge, I obviously said, well, I have in the house my friend. We were together in University of Lagos, and we have been together for a long time. His area of specialization is lift. And I went to him. I said, can I have a lift from you? We put heads together. He says, not everything. Alumni will do part of it, and he will also do part of it. I have his mandate to say that whatever the price of the lift is, he will sell to us with 50% discount. And I asked him, what is the likely price? He said, well, that lift will be about 30 million. Then if you give us 50%, we are looking for 15 million. Please, on behalf of the committee and other members, alumni of the university, we want to thank you so much for your generous contribution, and we would also ensure that that 15 million will come. So the VC challenge is not in vain. We have a lift, and we will lift the university up. What we plan to do is that when the association is in place, we would ensure that that association serves as a bridge between the university and our alumni at home and abroad. We intend to assist the university, but under a structured environment. Rather than leaving it for each year set to do, we will come together and pool our resources together, and God willing, we'll be able to do our best for the university. On that note, again, I'd like to welcome you all and say, well, enjoy yourself and let's celebrate. God bless you all. Thank you.
One more time, can we put our hands together for the distinguished Professor Taiwo Oshikwito? Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to go into the keynote speech now, but we'd like to go into the keynote speech now. And I'd like you to please put your hands together. Welcome with me for the citation of the keynote speaker. Please, let's make welcome Dr. Edefe Ojomo. Dr. Edefe Ojomo. Please put your hands together for her. You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, may we rise up for the arrival and the entrance of the Vice Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome Professor Yemi Oshibajo, SANGCON, into the hall. National anthem, please.
Arise to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You may be seated. Thank you. Once again, we'd like to welcome into the hall and for the great 2022 homecoming, we'd like to welcome the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, SANGCON. You're welcome, sir. Still preparing to receive the keynote speaker, and Dr. Ojomo will be helping us to read the citation of Mr. Odei Ajumogobia, SANOFR. Please, may we receive him as well as the citation. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this dinner event. Welcome to the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. I stand on existing protocols. I would like to introduce our distinguished keynote speaker for the evening, Mr. Odei Ajumogobia. Mr. Ajumogobia is the senior partner in the leading corporate and commercial law firm of Ajumogobia and Okeke, which he co-founded in January 1984. A fellow of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, FCIARB, UK 1996, Mr. Ajumogobia, with law degrees from the University of Lagos, LLB, and Harvard Law School, LLM, was conferred with the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria in 2003. And called to the after having been called to the Nigerian bar in 1979. For 6 years, between 2001 and 2006, Mr. Ajumogobia was a member of the Paris-based ICC, International Court of Arbitration, and the ICC International Commission on Arbitration. After more than 2 decades as a busy private legal practitioner, between 1980 and 2003, providing legal services to a broad range of international business and Nigerian corporate entities and individuals, Mr. Ajumogobia entered public service following his appointment as Rivers State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice between 2003 and 2007. Mr. Ajumogobia was appointed Minister of State for Energy and head of Nigeria's delegation to OPEC between July 2007 to December 2008, and Minister of State for Petroleum Resources between January 2009 and April 2010 by the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, GCFR. As minister, he aggressively pushed for the deregulation of the downstream sector of the oil industry, approved alternative funding arrangements for upstream investment, promoted gas development, imposing domestic gas supply obligations on international oil-producing companies for the first time, and promoting greater indigenous participation in exploration and production activities. He was appointed Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs by President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, on April 6, 2010, serving as President of the UN Security Council, where he is remembered for his eloquent statement in the debate on preventive diplomacy, which he introduced in the Council. Mr. Ajumogobia, SAN, served as Minister of Foreign Affairs until the dissolution of the Federal Cabinet on May 29, 2011. Mr. Ajumogobia has received numerous honors and distinctions and is the recipient of the LLD degree from the Rivers State University of Science and Technology and the National Award of Officer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, OFR. Mr. Ajumogobia sits on the board of several private companies, is pro-chancellor of the Pan-Atlantic University, incorporating the Lagos Business School, and chancellor of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion. He's married to Awuneba Ajumogobia, FCA, and they have 4 children. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Odei Ajumogobia.
The chairman of this occasion, Mr. Kanu Agabi, SAN, CON, former Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, esteemed alumni of the Unilag faculty and our wonderful spouses. I especially acknowledge mine, who is not here yet, but she will be very soon, Mrs. Awuneba Ajumogobia. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Oluwatosin Ogundipe, the Dean of Law, Professor Ige Bolodieku, and faculty members of the preeminent law faculty of First Choice. Our special guest of honor, who I wish to acknowledge specially, guests of honor, Honorable Justice Kudirat Kekereekun and her husband, Mr. Akin Kekereekun, Chief Wale Olanikpekun, SAN, OFR, and Otumba Adeni Adebayo, CON, Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry and former Governor of Ekiti State. I also wish to acknowledge my friend, the former Governor of Ogun State, Chief Benga Daniel, who is here with us. I must also particularly single out for mention, members of the University of Lagos Law Alumni Relations Committee, led by its chairman, Professor Taiwo Oshipito, and Vice Chairperson, Mrs. Funke Agbo, SAN. Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by thanking the committee for their gracious invitation to me to deliver this keynote address at this alumni reunion and great homecoming dinner. It does me great honor. I'm proud to represent my class of 75 to 78, of which our special guest of honor is not just our most prominent and esteemed member, but the highest civilian political office holder to have attended and taught in our beloved University of Lagos Faculty of Law. Professor of Law, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, ordained minister of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, though we in the Anglican Communion still lay claim to him, having been raised as an Anglican, and Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and our special guest of honor, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, SAN GCON. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this day is unique and important, providing as it does a novel opportunity for us alumni, great Akokites, across generations, to connect with each other and to reflect on the past and future of our alma mater and its first-class faculty of law. Many of us, and I call myself one of the younger ones, haven't seen each other since we left the Unilag campus, which in the case of myself and my classmates of the 75 to 78 set is 44 years ago. Now I say younger because there are some who graduated 57 years ago when the Faculty of Law was founded in 1962. It is 60 years since Unilag was founded as a small campus with only a few hundred students with ambitious plans for expansion and distinction. It is clearly due to the brilliance and passion of successive leadership and dedicated teaching and non-teaching staff that it has achieved both phenomenal growth and outstanding merit. Our Faculty of Law was one of the first out of the first 9 faculties. Undoubtedly, the University of Lagos and its Faculty of Law remains one of the greatest educational institutions in the country. When we come to an occasion like this, we think about reflections on the past, memories. We will each have vivid memories, no doubt, that still make us think about our time at the Faculty of Law, the University of Lagos. I'd like us all to pause for a moment to recall at least one such vivid memory. Memories of that first exhilarating feeling of complete freedom and independence, the novel but universal experience of student power, and occasional open rebellion against the challenge of constituted authority of parents and guardians, especially those uncles and aunts who were even more strict than our parents. And then today, accepting the reality as parents and many grandparents ourselves of trying to persuade our millennial and Gen Z children, especially, that we actually went to school. In my time, our confrontation of the then military government was the famous Ali Must Go protest over the increase in the cost of meal tickets from 1 naira 50 kobo to 2 naira for a 3-course meal. Amongst other non-tuition cost increases, such as hostel accommodation, which went from 90 naira to 100 naira per session for 36 weeks. 90 naira to 100 naira per session in federal universities. These increases were announced by Colonel Dr. Ahmadu Ali, then Commissioner for Education, as federal ministers were then called during the military administration of General Olusegun Obasanjo. Tragically, the rioting that ensued took the life of one of us, Akintunde Ojo, shot dead by a policeman from one of the mobile police units deployed with live ammunition by land and sea, and some say by air too, to suppress a legitimate student protest. I believe his memorial still stands outside the main cafeteria of the Unilag campus till this day. But one cannot think of that time without also remembering the late Professor Ade Ajayi, our vice chancellor at the time, who stood with us as students to the chagrin of the military administration, for which he was unceremoniously removed. What character! The recent End SARS protest, in which unarmed protesters sitting on the floor waving our green, white, green flag and singing our national anthem with the assurance that those symbols of peace would deter Nigerian soldiers sent to break up the protest, reminded me of the Ali Must Go riots 42 years earlier. How tragically wrong they were. The might and brutality of our nation's military's live bullets dispersed the crowd of young people legitimately protesting brutality and sent many to their early graves. Memories of other fallen classmates who didn't make it to today. Some while on campus, others during NYSC. I recall 3 of our classmates who we lost in a ghastly motor accident during the NYSC year, and so many others along the way. Let us remember each and all of them and keep them in our hearts as we thank God for His grace. None of us here earned the right to be here this evening. There were several others, both before and after that unfortunate 1978 episode. Legitimate student protests across generations of greater Kokites, such as occurred when a controversial and unpopular change of name of our beloved University of Lagos was announced by a popular president. Memories of residing or squatting in halls of residence, the women's. Many of us men were more familiar with the ladies' halls of residence, Moremi and Amina halls, than our own, El Kanami, Marere, Jaja, Oangolo, and Soweto, and later Ozulua boys' quarters on campus. It was, of course, in the women's hostels, Amina and Moremi halls especially, where some excitedly embraced the notion of the October rush, but soon became discouraged and disillusioned when they first encountered the seemingly unfair, significantly older and affluent competition in the course of their determined search for the affection of particular female students. Others were more fortunate, and a few even met their lifelong partners in their quest. Memories, the carefree but safe midnight searches for where it was happening, by following the high decibel thumping beat of the latest hit songs once you were in the general vicinity of the frequent off-campus night parties, as far afield as Ikeja and Ikoyi, that you simply heard about. In the time of many of us here, the music was invariably the Brothers Johnson's Ain't No Stopping Us Now. I'm sure many of you here that know that song. Capturing our feelings of youth and invincibility, and perhaps more appropriately, Lionel Richie's All Night Long. Just 10 years ago, when we celebrated our 50th anniversary, the reigning dance and party sounds were international award-winning dance hits, Two-Face Idibia's African Queen and D'Banj's Oliver Twist. And there was also Port Harcourt Boy by the equally talented but less celebrated Duncan Mighty, reflecting the coming of age of our contemporary music industry. Today it's songs like My papa no be Dangote. By Teniola Akpata. Superstars Davido, Jowo, and Grammy Award winner Burma Boy's hit songs displayed on the playlist of a former president of the United States of America. And his celebrated Grammy-winning performance and album, Twice as Tall, that are not only on the lips of Nigerians across generations, but are enthusiastically sung or hummed by foreigners filling global arenas. Memories of those tedious hours of research done in libraries the old-fashioned way, or tragically avoided by the compulsory use of often outdated lecturers' handouts, especially for the rather unpopular but compulsory General African Studies, with its suitably derisive acronym African Jazz, long before the wonder of the internet became so commonplace. Today, instant internet banking contrasts with the 4 weeks for up-country checks to be cleared, when we queued up for tellers in banks and could only make withdrawals from an account in the branch of the bank in which you held your account. All this will seem very strange to many of those who graduated many years after we did. The world of science fiction has become our reality as technology has changed how we complete tasks today and make us laugh as how we did things not that long ago. And we're astounded at the speed of change as the painful obsolescence of my precious collection of CDs and DVDs, which my millennial children recently threw out as clutter, to my shock and horror. Dad, you can download any movie or track in the world, but I still love my CDs and DVDs. In practice, today, our young lawyers have taken the lead in breaking traditional boundaries with refreshing individuality and confidence, and challenge the status quo to conquer new frontiers at the intersection of law and technology. Memory of others, more playful and sociable, of an extremely talented law student, fondly referred to as Chief Justice, playing for the national team, the Green Eagles, at the time, as they brought home the coveted, just concluded African Cup of Nations in 1980, just 2 years after we graduated from Unilag. And then memories of the excitement and the elation of graduation, of farewells and the dreams and expectations of what we hoped to be, and the future as the future beckoned, and the fulfillment today of what we have all become. Yet for all of us, faculty, students, and alumni in particular, beyond nostalgia, if secondary school days were the anchor of many of our lifelong friendships and the development of our character, this great institution unquestionably was at the core of our intellectual growth and self-confidence, and in all probability, the greatest single investment in our future. This evening, we celebrate 6 decades of vision and commitment, of perseverance and resilience, of sacrifice and triumph. Often against great odds, Unilag and its distinguished law faculty has been able to remain faithful to its appropriately revised and expanded original mandate to train the requisite professional workforce for a newly independent Nigeria, and has retained its preeminent status and ranking as an academic leader amongst universities in Nigeria and indeed in Africa and the Commonwealth. Unilag alumni, faculty alumni have indeed excelled and distinguished themselves in literally every field of endeavor and enterprise, from high political office holders to the highest courts in the land, dozens of erudite professors, and over 100 senior advocates of Nigeria, a truly distinguished faculty. We're all gathered here physically and many virtually to celebrate this delightful homecoming and to contemplate what we owe this institution, which, as I said earlier, probably represents the greatest investment in our lives, a proud testament to the exceptional professors and lecturers we had. Our law faculty ought to be better equipped and have better facilities today, as our Vice Chancellor just told us, than it did when many of us were students there. Each each generation must surpass the vision and accomplishments of the previous one. Otherwise, we fail as an institution, or indeed as a nation. It is in just the same way that our bench and our bar, so well represented here, also fail if the partnership that is at the heart of justice administration is allowed to continue to flounder and fail. It is thus to an aspect of this subject of the failure of the partnership of the bench and the bar in Nigeria that I wish to direct the remainder of my remarks this evening. The administration of justice, once described as the greatest interest of man on earth, is the common cause that binds the bench and the bar. Yet there would be few, if any, in this room who do not share my concern and disillusionment. However, I speak this evening as one who believes in our collective capacity to redeem our collective future. Several reasons are typically cited: poor infrastructure, congestion and overburdened judiciary, the opaque and questionable appointment process, and of course the great elephant in the room, corruption. But this evening I wish to briefly dissect one that is not often mentioned and that would still plague justice delivery even if we fixed the others. It pertains to what is commonly called the adversary or adversarial system, in which the judge is relatively passive, listening, moderating, but then is the final arbiter of just what is presented by two partisan advocates in an adversarial process that today has sadly become akin to sport rather than a search for justice. I've chosen to dissect the adversarial system because of the abuse that has seriously distorted the proper role of the lawyer in the Nigerian legal system, as of the administration of justice and in the decision-making process by our judges. I'm of course not advocating that we discard the adversary system. It works well elsewhere without the gross distortions that derive from our knowing misrepresentation of justice according to law, in too often technicalities prevailing over the substance. There is much to be said for the adversarial system. An adversary presentation counters the natural tendency to judge swiftly or rashly, and to benefit from the zealous presentation of facts and law by counsel, to enable an unbiased judge or panel of judges to come to an impartial decision that will be respected by all. But the notion that procedure too must of necessity be wholly contentious and adversarial completely disfigures our judicial administration at every point. Too often, it is forgotten that the goal is the ascertainment of truth and that the purpose is doing justice. Neither the system itself nor the rules must be permitted to be the instrument of foreclosing proper inquiry and obscuring truth. This, of course, means that something radical must be done to restore that spirit of professional responsibility in the bench and bar, so that each may better appreciate once again their proper role as agents of justice. As a distinguished president of the American Bar Association once said, a judicial system in the long run can be no better than its bar. This is not just an acknowledgement that judges are selected from amongst the bar, but refers to the key role that the bar performs in the judicial function, to ensure a just outcome and not simply to defend the side he or she represents without regard for justice. Further, the appearance of judicial impartiality is absolutely indispensable to the continued respect that must be enjoyed by the judiciary if it is to serve its noble function. Impartiality implies a judicial attitude of detachment and neutrality between the parties. Judges, after all, are lawyers who have shed their partisan robes. An adversarial system can thus only fulfill its mission to serve as an instrument of justice if counsel for both sides adhere to proper standards of professional responsibility and competence, hence the rules of professional conduct, encompassing aspirational ethical considerations and mandatory disciplinary rules. He or she is also, of course, responsible for the competent and accurate presentation of the applicable law. Too often, in assessing the judiciary's role, the focus has been unduly on the industry and mental agility of the individual judges, because it's the judges that decide the cases, but the bar must also take responsibility. Clearly, if the standard of judicial performance is to be one of excellence, what is also required is an excellent presentation. Undoubtedly, better briefs produce better decisions, highlighting the direct relationship, the input or contribution of the lawyer, and the end product of the adjudicatory process, i.e., the judicial opinion. One of the consequences of the failure of our profession to bear its social and professional responsibilities is the failure of the bar's partnership with the bench. I commenced this aspect of my remarks with a reference to our adversarial system of law. This system can only serve the administration of justice if its participants, both the bar and the bench, appreciate their strengths and weaknesses, limitations and shortcomings. As lawyers, we must fulfill this professional responsibility with equal zeal to the client, to the court, and to the law. That is the essence of the essential partnership between the bench and the bar, and why the partnership has substantially failed and must be restored. To function effectively, lawyers and judges must perform their duties in accordance with the best traditions and ideals of both bench and bar. The acknowledgement of the bar-bench partnership and its attendant responsibilities will inure to the benefit of society and will earn for both bench and bar immense gratitude of all of us. As I conclude my remarks, I wish to praise the multiple roles played by our alumni in this country and beyond, who have achieved immeasurable success in careers as diverse as our dear country. There are current and retired senators and representatives, including the Speaker of the House of Representatives, eminent jurists in our highest courts, serving and retired, and we have our guest of honor, Justice Kudirat Kekereokun, Justice of the Supreme Court, and 3 other serving justices of the Supreme Court, following retired justices of the Supreme Court who were also members of the Faculty of Law of the University of Lagos. I can think of 2, Professor Nikki Toby and Bode Rhodes-Viver, who retired recently. Leading solicitors and the senior advocates, including one of the undisputed leaders of our bar and guest of honor here this evening, Chief Wale Olanipekun, SAN. And Professor of Law, leading barrister, and our brilliant keynote speaker at the colloquium yesterday, Dr. Fidelis Odita, QC, SAN, another guest of honor. And the former governor of Ekiti State and Minister of Trade and Industry, Otumba Ani Adebayo, CON, respected military chiefs, IGs of police, successful entrepreneurs, and to crown it all, the serving Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Adeyemi Oshibajo, SAN, GCON, amongst us. But this evening, we must also ask ourselves what we have done as proud, great Akokites for this great faculty that gave each of us so much. I leave you with that thought as I appeal for greater efforts amongst us all towards enhancing the standards in our Faculty of Law. We cannot avoid the responsibility to give back. We all, alumni who have justified the years we spent at the Unilag Faculty of Law, have a duty to ensure that the future esteem of the faculty exceeds its past glory. Can we say that today? If not, there's work to do, and as we look forward to our next and our greater homecoming. Lastly, I would like to thank everyone who has participated in this great reunion, and I hope you've enjoyed the arrangements made by the great committee that put this together as much as I have, and wish you all a wonderful evening. Bon appétit.
I'd like to bring up stage the driving force behind this entire event, this entire gathering, the powerful man that wakes people up at 2 a.m. to ask them how this event is going to go and how the alumni is going to work. Ladies and gentlemen, to say a few words just before we receive our very special guest, may you welcome with me the chairman of the Alumni Association. Please welcome Chief Wole Olanipekun, SANOFR. Chief Wole Olanipekun, SANOFR. We'll just say a few words and we will move on with the program. Thank you very much. One more time, can you put your hands together for the chairman?
May I crave your indulgence that I stand on all the existing protocols. University of Lagos is a university of excellence. Those of us who are here tonight, who have passed through that university, its beautiful gates, its portals, I wonder if any one of us will say that he would have been what he is today without passing through the University of Lagos. The University of Lagos taught us a lot of things. How to talk in the public, how to behave ourselves, not just learning, character, social interaction, how to look forward to the future, how to be diligent, how to be focused. It is our pride, a beautiful heritage. When I was the Pro-Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, the name of our university was changed to Moshood Abiola University. Professor Abbas, a great alumnus of the university, called some of us. He challenged us, gave us a charge, rather, that we should fight the federal government, fight quote and unquote. My brother, the untiring professor, distinguished professor, Taiwo Shikpich and our others, who are meeting regularly at my office, and at a point in time, President Jonathan sent a message to the University of Ibadan that your Pro-Chancellor is filing an action against the federal government, as if forgotten that he is a Pro-Chancellor of a federal university. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan came to me, Isaac Adewale. He was my junior at Ilesha Grammar School. He said the federal government is complaining. And I told him, go and tell the federal government I'm not on their payroll. And that in any event, they asked me to choose between the University of Lagos and my Pro-Chancellorship of University of Ibadan. I will pick as 1, 2, and 3 my being an alumnus, a proud alumnus of the University of Lagos. And at any event, without being immodest, I told them, I was a Pro-Chancellor with a difference. I'm not taking any allowance from you, rather than taking from you, I'm giving to you. So if the federal government could afford asking me to resign, I will resign. And I think he passed the message to him. He said, please leave Chief Olanipekun alone. Now, Vice Chancellor, you challenged us. But you didn't mention this in your speech, in your address. We appreciate you. There was also a crisis in the university recently, but for the alumnus, only God knows what would have happened. We quenched the fire. Thank God you are still on your seat today, but we settled the matter at the Alumni Association level. Now, for us who are here, we remember, and like my brother Oden has said, with nostalgia, During our days at University of Lagos, ours 1972 to 75, how we were locking the gates. I was secretary of the Students' Union. Gowon arrested me and detained me for 30 days. And how we go to NONS meeting, I remember a particular meeting that held at Ahmadu Bello University. University of Lagos students representatives will decide to get to the meeting late. Let them take decisions. We were in Lagos. There they are in Zaria, Atinsuka, Ife, rural areas. Lagos is where everything works. But they won't be able to issue any communique until we arrived. Why? Because they know that whatever they did will come to the University of Lagos and it will address the press. We are always respected. I want to plead with our students today that those of us who are standing here tonight, not even the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, started as Vice President. None of our Rome was built in a day. Please learn how to take one step before the other. Don't take 2 steps at a time. A step at a time. God is going to bless you. Kanu Agabi, you are the most senior of all of us here. We respect you. We are proud of every alumnus of the University of Lagos. Now, my brother, Benga Daniel, engineer, I wonder, you are thinking, I know what is going on in your mind. You will be saying that perhaps, why didn't you read law? But engineering is good, but law is better. We want to appreciate you. You have thrown a challenge. I understand the cost of the generator is 30 million. You've written off 50% of it. We thank you. God will bless you. God is going to replenish you. God is going to expand your coast and broaden your horizon. For us at Wole Olanipeku & Co., we'll take care of the balance of the 50%. Now, I don't know why you have turned me to John the Baptist to be the forerunner of the Vice President. I've not been asked to invite the Vice President, but Bosse whispered to me and announced to the public that Vice President is coming after me. Mr. Vice President, I'm happy to be your forerunner. I'm happy to be your John the Baptist. God bless you. Thank you for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to have this beautiful moment today that we record at the homecoming. And it's very important for us to celebrate this great man that has proven, just like Chief Wole Olanipeku said, that great things start small. A product of Faculty of Law, University of Lagos, a Christian, a writer, a professor. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, for his remarks, the special guest of honor, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May we rise as we receive Professor Yemi Oshibajo, S.A.N.
Thank you very much. Please sit. The chairman of the occasion and former Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mr. Kanu Agabi, my lords, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me also to stand on all of the very well laid out protocols. I'd like to congratulate the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos, its management and staff and students, and of course, alumni, on the very successful series of events that commenced on Wednesday. I must especially commend the National Executive Committee for organizing this great reunion of some of the finest Akokites and Africa's best minds here in this room. Let me especially thank the Dean of the Faculty of Law, Professor Ige Bolodioku, for the invitation to come home. Unilag is home, not just because I spent the formative years of my university education, as well as the vast majority of my career in academia there, but also because home, as they say, is where the heart is. And this should hardly surprise anyone. Everywhere you go, there is something, always something, that keeps calling your heart back to the University of Lagos. The real evidence of the success of a place of learning and inquiry, such as a university, is the success of its alumni. The reputation and goodwill of the alumni is the rationale for the prestige of the school. And I think we must all be proud of the remarkable array of alumni of the Unilag Faculty of Law and their great achievements, not just in law, but practically in all fields of human endeavor. I think tonight is a night when we should brag, when we should boast, and when we should really let all of these people who went to the wrong universities feel the weight of the University of Lagos, the Faculty of Law. I'll very quickly take you through my own little compilation. It's an inexact compilation, and I must apologize in advance for those who I may inadvertently leave out. The Unilag Faculty of Law has, just by the quality of its alumni, defined legal practice in Nigeria. At the apex of the Nigerian judiciary is, of course, our special guest of honor, Her Ladyship, the Honorable Justice Kudirat Kekereekun. Last year, she was joined by Justice Helen Moron-Kweji Ogunwumiju, both alumni of the University of Lagos Faculty of Law. Before them, the Honorable Justice Nikki Toby, now late, also served in the Supreme Court. And many will know that Justices Inyang Okoro and Justice Amina Ogi first went to the wrong universities, but ended up doing their masters at the University of Lagos. So they have been redeemed and are also part of that excellent company. At the Court of Appeal, I know that there are so many, but the Honorable Justice Obie Daniel Kalio, Justice Patricia Mahmood, who was initially, I think she was of the High Court of Kano. She served as acting Chief Judge of Kano. And then the immediate past Chief Judge of Edo State, the Honorable Justice Esther Edigin, who was my classmate. The current Chief Judge of Lagos State, the erudite Honorable Justice Kazim Alugba, is also a proud alumnus. Honorable Justice Oyebola Oyebumi of the Industrial Court, a proud alumnus. And in the Lagos State Judiciary alone, there are just so many. The Honorable Justice Yetunde Adesanya, Adenike Koka, Toyin Ipaye, Honorable Justice Atinuke Oluyemi, the Honorable Justice Adedayo Akintoye, Justice Olukolu Idowu Alakija, Justice Ronke Harrison, Justice Toyin Odusanya, and so many others. But in the private bar, we have Chief Olanikwekun SAN, Chief Wole Olanikwekun SAN, possibly the wealthiest of lawyers in the country. And I just told him that this business of paying half the cost of the generator, no, it's nothing. No. He just simply has to buy the whole generator and maybe a couple more. He was the first, I believe, the first of our alumnus to be conferred the rank of SAN. I'm not certain whether that is correct or whether it was whether it was Chief Kanu Agabi, SAN. But he's easily the leading constitutional lawyer in Nigeria today. There's also the incredibly brilliant late Bankole Aluko, senior advocate of Nigeria, who co-founded what is probably one of the leading law firms in Nigeria today, Aluko and Oyebode. And then there's Femi Olubanwo, co-founder of Banwo and Ighodalo. Recently, they won the Nigeria Law Firm of the Year award. There's, of course, Dr. Babalaki SAN, who founded the famous Babalaki & Co. law firm and served as pro-chancellor of the University of Lagos. Another senior advocate, Lanre Fagbon, Professor Lanre Fagbon SAN, served as vice-chancellor of the Lagos State University and led that transformation of the university, the 5-year term that truly transformed that university. In the public service, of course, you have both the second and fourth citizens who are products of this great faculty. The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Right Honorable Speaker of the 9th House of Representatives, the Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila. Several former governors are alumni. His Excellency David Jemibewon was governor of the then Western State. His Excellency Gabriel Suzwam served as governor of Benue State. Professor A.A. Otwama served as deputy governor of Delta State. And two of my most senior aides were also molded in the crucible of this great faculty. Mr. Adekbaye, who is the deputy chief of staff to the president, and Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, the special advisor to the president on ease of doing business. Both were former students and lecturers in the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos. Dr. Oduwole was a holder of the Prince Claus Chair from 2013 to 2015. We even have notable traditional rulers, including His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Lagos, Oba Rewan Akiolu, who ascended to the throne of his fathers after rising to the rank, I believe, of AIG in the Nigeria Police Force. In the official bar, of course, we have Chief Kanu Agabi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, who served as Attorney General and the Honorable Minister of Justice. Chief Christopher Bayo Ojo, SAN, also served as Attorney General of the Federation. Adetokunbo Kayode, also Senior Advocate of Nigeria, served as Attorney General of the Federation, and he in fact held 2 other ministerial positions. Then, of course, Mr. Odeyin Ajumogobia, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, who served respectively as the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of Petroleum. So I'm sure it cannot surprise anyone that we've consistently produced attorneys general in Lagos State, the heart of legal practice in Nigeria. In the first 20 years of the Fourth Republic, beginning in 1999 when I served as Attorney General, then Shukwo Shashore, SAN, and Mr. Adekbaye, and of course, Professor Otwama. That was in Delta State. He served as Attorney General in Delta State, and then went on to become Deputy Governor of Delta State. And of course, our dear former Dean, Professor Oyelowo Oyewo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, who is currently serving as Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Oyo State. Many of us, of course, will remember, and he was my classmate as well as Odeyin's classmate, Adoke Amesimaka, who served as Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Rivers State. Only recently, Bolahon Adeniran, who, very young man, served as Attorney General in Ogun State. But some of our alumni have also excelled, as both academics and highly successful courtroom lawyers. In academia, of course, the distinguished Professor Taiwo Oshipiton, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and he was legal advisor to the then Chief of General Staff in the Abdul Salam Abubakar administration. Dr. Muiz Banire, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, once Commissioner for Transport in Lagos State and Chairman of AMCOM. And of senior advocates, we have some who of course, have excelled in so many different ways, including Mr. Fidelis Odita, who is possibly the only one of us who is both Queen's Counsel and Senior Advocate of Nigeria. And Mr. Olusegun Fabumi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Dapo Akin-Osun, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. How about sports and entertainment? Many, of course, will remember that Adokia Mesimaka, while still in the faculty, and we were in the faculty of law then, O'Day was in the faculty, we were all there. He played football for the Sharks Football Club, for the Enugu Rangers, and also for ACB at that time, and was a member of the side that won the gold at the African Cup of Nations in 1980. Of course, he went on to become Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Rivers State. Our alumni have also disrupted the entertainment industry, especially the women. Our own Bolanle Austin Peters founded Nigeria's first privately owned ultra-modern theater, the Terra Culture. And she's the brain behind the dance dramas, Saro the musical, Fela and the Kalakuta Queens, and her film on the Ebola outbreak, 93 Days, was nominated in 7 different categories and was the highest nominated film in the 2017 African Movie Academy Awards. And she is a lawyer, but of course she's defected into more, possibly more lucrative business. And how about Funke Akindele, the world famous Jennifer, an Academy Movie Award recipient and the producer of the movie Omo Ghetto, which is the highest grossing Nigerian movie of all time. And another famous alumni, Kemi Adetiba, who directed 2 blockbuster films, The Wedding Party and The King of Boys. In the fashion world, you have Omoyemi Akerele. Now, these are all lawyers who defected, found something else they were interested in doing. And she's, Omoyemi Akerele is raising the Nigerian flag high and creating room for others. And she's the initiator of the Lagos Fashion Week, a fashion platform that drives the Nigerian and African fashion industry. And so many others doing exceptional stuff everywhere. Of course, many of us also know Mrs. Yewande Zacchaeus, who not only studied in Unilag, went on to Cambridge, but also defected into event planning and distinguished herself as one of the major, if not the major event planner in our country today. So our people are everywhere. I can brag from now till midnight, and there will still be more to talk about. They're just everywhere and doing incredible things. So let me end by congratulating the National Executive Committee of the Unilag Law Alumni Association for a successful celebration. We are not first among equals, and people should stop calling us first among equals. We are the first. There are no equals. God bless you. Thank you.
Wow, what a speech. What a speech. And as he started calling the names of all these wonderful people, I was waiting for him to stutter or to call someone's name wrongly or to mix up the positions. But he just kept going on and on and on and on. And I said, wow, wow. I just couldn't stop watching and listening. It's beautiful being here, ladies and gentlemen, and so wonderful to see all of you in this beautiful event. And like I said earlier, we're going to have some dancing, some interactions as we move along. The students of the faculty are all the way at the back there, and they would like me to inform you that they have some products that you would like to see as the event moves along. So you might just like to stroll there and check what they are doing to support what the faculty is also doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that it's time for us to have go down the memory lane and just see how it all started, how it went down, and how it's still going. Please welcome with me Mr. Olayinka Ola Daniels. Mr. Olayinka Ola Daniels. Mr. Olayinka has been working tirelessly, making sure everything goes well. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Respectfully, my Lord, Vice President, SAN, the Senior Advocates of Nigeria, my professors, because of time, you permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Good evening, everyone. We've put some things together for the alumni, for the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos. The past, the present, the future. We want you to see what it was like when you started in the Faculty of Law from 1962 till date. We have these in two sections. We have the short one that we will see today because of time. Time will not permit us to see all that we've put together. But somehow we will put all that we have put together in a cloud and we will upload that. So we will send you a link in which you can go in there, download, so you will see all that has been said about the faculty and all that we need to do and all we need to bring back to the faculty. But for now, I present to you all the memory lane.
The Faculty of Law was established in 1962 as one of the foundation teaching units of the University of Lagos. Teaching in the faculty began in October 1962 with an academic staff of 5 persons, 2 Nigerians and 3 Englishmen, and 26 pioneer full-time students registered for a 3-year Bachelor of Laws LLB degree program. A 5-year part-time LLB degree program was introduced in January 1963 with 30 students, but the program was terminated in 2006. The faculty considers its role as that of providing sound university legal education in line with the UNESCO Advisory Commission's report, which proposed the establishment of the University of Lagos. Since its inception, the faculty has been committed to teaching law in the light of social, political, and economic context, nationally and internationally. The faculty was divided into 4 departments on 1st October 1977. They are Department of Commercial and Industrial Law, Department of Jurisprudence and International Law, Department of Private and Property Law, and Department of Public Law. The graduates of the faculty have over the years dominated various legal fields within Nigeria and beyond. To date, it has produced Supreme Court justices and more than 50 senior advocates of Nigeria.
Since the senior advocate rank was introduced in Nigeria, we have had over 75, of our alumni make that rank. And I think that with some of the latest elevations, we probably have crossed the bar into 80 and maybe a little bit above 80 by now.
There are 4 student law chambers, namely Taslim Elias Chambers, Kayode Esho Chambers, Oputa Chambers, and Gani Fawayimi Chambers. Other student co-curricular associations, which enable students deepen their practical knowledge of legal fields and hone their law skills, include the Mooting Society, established to handle all the various mooting competitions involving the faculty, the Maritime Forum, the Tax Club, the Oil and Gas Club, and the ADR Society. Some innovations were introduced in the nurturing of student-staff relations through an event tagged Bridge Time, which allows students to interact freely with academic faculty and discuss academic matters such as student academic performance and career prospects. Alumni of the faculty who have achieved notable success sometimes participate in this forum, The Deans of Faculty of Law, University of Lagos from 1962 to 2022. Professor L.C.B. Gower, Professor Taslim Elias, Professor Alfred Kasumu, Professor Michael Jegede, Professor Clifford Olawoye, Professor Michael Ajomo, Professor Anthony Adeogun, Professor Jelili Omotola, Professor Akintunde Obilade, Professor Isaac Agbede, Professor Emmanuel Akonki, Professor Adedokun Adeyemi, Professor Chioma Agomo, Professor Oyewo Oyelowo, SAN, Professor Imran Oluwole Smith, Professor Akin Ibidapo Obe, Professor Ayodele Asenwa, and Professor Ige Omotaya Bolodeogu, current Dean of Law. The story starts in 1962 with Professor L.C.B. Gower, a foremost authority on company law, as a pioneer dean.
As a matter of fact, the man who interviewed me for admission at the London School of Economics, University of London, Professor Gower, told me that he was going to be the first dean of the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos.
His accomplishments and the stamp of excellence he left on the faculty were taken further by another giant, a man of many parts, Taslim Elias. Elias took over the mantle of leadership at a very turbulent time in the history of the faculty and the university. The inspirational leadership gap created by the unfortunate events of 1965 could only have been filled by no other person than a man of the caliber of Taslim Elias, who assumed the deanship of the faculty in 1966 at a most critical period. He had the singular honor of occupying the post of Attorney General of the Federation, as well as that of the Dean of the Faculty. He promoted the culture of quality academic research and also initiated staff development programs, among other schemes. Alfred Kasumu succeeded Elias in 1964. However, his stint as dean was short because of his appointment as Commissioner for Justice, Lagos State. He nevertheless left his mark chiefly through the establishment of the JIC Taylor Lectures and inauguration of scholarships for excellence. The baton was handed to Michael Jegede in 1976. It was under his leadership that departments were created in the faculty. This singular feat helped in no small measure in the staff growth and development. It was also under him that the faculty recorded its first ever first-class graduate in 1977. After a 4-year purposive leadership tenure, Clifford Olawoye took over the mantle from Jegede. The crisis that rocks the university barely 7 months afterwards prematurely brought his deanship to an end. It is a salute to the comrade spirit among his peers that none of them stepped in to take his place. This is a demonstration of the oneness of the faculty. Each of the deans of the faculty, ever since inception, have left their indelible imprints, and the current dean will no doubt continue with the same zeal and commitment with which his predecessors served. Let's hear from some of the lecturers and alumni.
It was a great joy and delight to join the Faculty of Law, thanks to the good grace of Professor Kasumu, senior advocate, who hired me way back in 1973. So I was in the faculty from 73 to 2017. So you can do the arithmetic.
I joined the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos in September 1974.
I could say that as a lecturer in the Faculty of Law,
I would verily agree with the current Vice Chancellor, who usually describes the Faculty of Law as one of the flagship faculties of the University of Lagos.
I'm a professor of law for over 50 years. It can be like 53 or 4.
It's been a wonderful experience. Choice of University of Lagos to study law. Maybe they had 4 or 5 universities then. Even if they had 20 universities, the University of Lagos has no equal. We tower above every other university in terms of the study of law.
So I joined teaching as a lecturer too. And they said, oh, they were looking for someone to teach the law of torts, because Professor Konde, who was teaching tort, was tired of the subject. So I came in and they just foisted it on me.
I remember particularly Professor Akinwuye Bode, who was my teacher, and he was so brilliant and so smart, and I said to myself, maybe I could achieve this kind of success, and finally, by the grace of God.
When we were here as students, my lecturers, my professors then, Professor Adeogun, Professor Adeogun, Professor Adeyemi, Professor Obilade, and some of our professors that later, some of our lecturers that later became Professor Agomo, Professor Shikmiton, Professor Fogam, Professor Uzodike, Mowo, Oyewo, Professor Asenuwa. What they did for us at that time was that they went beyond the call of duty. They also impacted us personally. They cared about us. They cared about everything about us.
You must have that at the back of your mind. And therefore, we make sure that our students know that when they leave this place, they will be not only representing the faculty, they will also be imbibing social values to the society at large.
I will say that the greatest the greatest challenge that we face is the challenge of funding. We are so poorly funded that we're not able to do the things that we need to do. For a faculty such as our faculty, we also have to deal with aging infrastructure. Our faculty building has been standing since, I think, the 70s, or maybe since the 70s, and you can imagine what it will require to maintain that structure, but unfortunately, we're poorly funded.
Alumni Association always help the growth of the alma mater. There's no doubt about that.
In fact, there's hardly any country I visit that I won't run into a former Unilag student.
Now, I think the role of alumni, I think, is to promote the institution. I mean, you've benefited from the institution. I mean, I can say for sure that my Unilag degree was the platform on which I built a career. And I think we ought to remember that and try and give back to the institution to build its reputation and to support those who are coming behind us.
If you want a faculty to develop, or a university to develop, the charge is on the alumni. The alumni own the university, and they own the faculty, and they make or break the faculty. As I said, when there was thought about changing the name of the university to Abiola University, the faculty alumni rose as one to resist. And people like Ndoma Egba, who was leader of the Senate, Awole Olanipekun, And 6 sons went to court to challenge it. And eventually, it was the alumni that killed that idea. Jonathan could not tamper with that university.
The lecturers that we had were fantastic. University of Lagos has always been the place to be to study law, and I still think it remains the same today. And this is what, as an alumni association, we want to ensure that in perpetuity, this will remain the case. It will be the best place to study law in Nigeria.
The year the set of 1980 to 1983, at the date I got to Lagos and the day they left Unilag, they have been taking me along with some 2 or 3 other lecturers to everywhere. They have their annual reunion. They took us to America. They took us to every part of Nigeria. And at present, they are asking them to foot the bill in building the tower for Unilag Faculty of Law. And I can tell you, in this particular group, wow, the judges among them, the SAN among them, and the few that have gone to something, you just mention, and I think they are the best of the universe has produced. Ask the Vice Chancellor or anybody. 1980 to 1983.
This reunion that is tagged the Great Homecoming is going to play a very big role in the Faculty of Law, in the lives of our students, in the lives of those who are coming, because we're expecting the alumni, they are coming back. You know, like a lot had actually left and they never really came back to the school, but you know, they come back, they relive the old time, they acquaint with their classmates, and they also interact with the new generation, which will make a great impact in the lives of the students. And we're also expecting that, you know, they will also give back in kind, in cash, to the university.
Of course, we're everywhere abroad as well, you know, making our rank in the judiciary abroad, in other sectors, even in governance abroad. I think the Attorney General of Alberta State in Canada is an alumnus of the Faculty of Law. And of course, you know that the Speaker of the House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is an alumnus. You do know that the Vice President of Nigeria is an alumnus. I mean, so I think that by all standards, we are definitely an institution to be reckoned with.
Even as we speak, I do not see any dean that do not or has not over the years engaged the Alumni Association for some support, one form of support or the other. So they are development partners indeed. They are development partners. But what I think is that given the value that they add to development, I think it is imperative that we systematize their intervention, we increase and deepen the value, the depth of our communications with our alumni, so that at least they recognize that it's not just about asking them for funds, you know, in our programs, but actually making them partners at the relevant stages of legal education.
The alumni are very great stakeholders in the functioning and achievement of the university.
University faculty has done a lot for me and a lot for many of my colleagues. So, having appreciated that and acknowledged that, I believe and I entertain no doubt that to whom much is given, much is desired. If we have taken so much from that university, then it's time for us to give back. And that's why I chair the Alumni Relations Committee. And our objective is to bring back as many of alumni that are leaving. Let them come back to university, come back to their faculty, see what the faculty is like, throw banters, some bonding among themselves. It will also afford them the opportunity to interact with our students, see where they are, what are their needs, particularly in the area of placement for internship. If you look at it very well, Oxford, Cambridge, and LSE, UCL, you find out that they also have similar arrangements. And the students are the beneficiaries. Most law firms that are successful would pick their own alumni first for employment before picking any other person. If you look at these chambers, for example, 90% of the lawyers are from University of Lagos. And it's for a reason. I would rather take my own product first before considering other products.
Well, it's still the 2022 Faculty of Law Homecoming. And on behalf of the very distinguished Professor Taiwo Oshikwito, the chairman, University of Lagos Law Alumni Relations Committee, I'd like to welcome to the stage the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Development Studies, University of Lagos, Professor Ayo Asenua. We would like Professor Ayo Asenua to help us with the recognition of the Alumni Relations Committee members. You're welcome, Ma. You're most welcome.
This is the list. The chairman of this occasion, all other protocols acknowledged. I thank you very much for this opportunity. Today is a great day of joy for me, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity to come here to carry out this assignment. I understand that it is appreciation for some members of the Alumni Relations Committee who have done so well. I am glad at the opportunity to be able to say thank you to them because I nominated them, I gave them the assignment, and I am glad that even when I was out of office and at the earliest opportunity, they brought it to life. So I am deeply grateful and I am honored for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. So we're just going to call the names in no particular order. I'd like to ask that Professor Oshikwito please help with the, okay. So, ma'am?
I'll just call the names and then you do. That's it.
Okay.
Relations committee members. So I'll just call them like that. The way it is listed.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the Alumni Relations Committee members, please make welcome Mr. Solomon Olaoye. Mr. Solomon Olaoye. Please put your hands together for him. While he's coming, can we also welcome Miss Damilola Abidoye. Miss Damilola Abidoye. Please let's welcome Miss Shade Ogunkoya. Miss Shade Ogunkoya. And the fourth on my list, Mrs. Nike Abati. Can we have them? Mrs. Nike Abati. So once again, let me run it by you. Mr. Solomon Olaoye, Miss Damilola Abidoye, Miss Shade Ogunkoya, and Mrs. Nike Abati.
And these are staff of the Faculty of Law who were seconded to the Alumni Relations Committee, and they made all of this happen. These are non-academic staff who supported the Alumni Relations Committee. Thank you very much. I think Dami, Faculty of Law as well.
First on the list, Solomon Olaoye.
On behalf of the Alumni Relations Committee, Faculty of Law, and in recognition of your service that has helped us to have this wonderful evening, I have the honor of presenting you this little token of appreciation. Thank you very much.
Now we have Damilola Abidoye.
Damilola, thank you so very much for everything that you did to make this happen. We truly appreciate you.
We have Miss Shade Ogunkoya.
Fala Shade Ogunkoya. I think you were the first non-academic staff who started on this because you worked in the Dean's office alongside me. When the concept came, you put together the database of alumni and did a couple of other things. Thank you so very much, because without you, this wouldn't have happened.
And we have Nike Abati, Mrs. Nike Abati.
Ms. Abati, thank you so much for doing all the letters and all the corrections. I was told that often you had to do some letters 6 times because, you know, when a committee of 6 lawyers, not to talk of 12 lawyers, are drafting one letter, the letter gets done and done and done again. Thank you very much.
May we quickly welcome now Miss Shafa Itunu, Miss Itunu Shafa, Mr. Oluyemi Fajuyiton, Mr. Oluyemi Fajuyiton, Mrs. Adejumoke Akinbusoye, Mrs. Adejumoke Akinbusoye, Mr. Yinka Ola Daniels, Mr. Yinka Ola Daniels. May we welcome them. Just use the whole place. Okay.
Itunu Shafa is a student of the Faculty of Law, and we discovered, or she presented her skills to us, and I think in 2018 you did the decoration of the main auditorium for the annual lecture by the CJN, and you won the heart of the university, and the university started engaging her even for convocation ceremonies. As far as I know, she was the one who did that documentary, amongst many other things that she does. Itunu is waiting to go to the law school.
Mr. Oluyemi Fajuyiton.
Oluyemi Fajuyiton was conscripted into the Alumni Relations Committee by Jumoke, who was conscripted into the Alumni Relations Committee, and they have all made this happen. Thank you very much, Oluyemi. Thank you so much. Can I have? Jumoke is one of the lecturers in the Faculty of Law. She's the next generation. The baton has been passed on to them. And I have no doubt that with people like her on board, the faculty is going to go even greater. Thank you, Jumoke, for everything that you did. I know you've been on this for like 2.5 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yinka Ola Daniels. Yinka Ola Daniels. Yinka Ola Daniels. Thank you for heeding the call when I called upon you. Yinka has always been, everybody knows Yinka. That was class of 2000? Class
3-4.
2000, when did you graduate? 2004. But for those who remember, this was the class, at least those of us who have to do with Unilag in terms of academia. This was the class that came in and they were numberless. WAEC results did not get published. That was 1998 you came in. Yeah, WAEC results were not published on time. And so we thought that, Professor Motola then thought that we can't keep holding on admission. And so he said, admit all of them who have qualified on the face of it, and when results come out, some of them will fail, and they did not fail. And so we had double the number. Every program in the university, and Yinka was class captain of that set, and he was very diligent, I can remember. That's his class cheering him. Thank you so much, Yinka, for being very, very reliable over the years. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
May we also welcome Dr. Mr. Caleb Ogenetega, yes. Mr. Caleb Ogenetega. Dr. Ifeoma Oluwashemilore. Mrs. Linda Afios, I think. Afios. Mrs. Linda Afios. Mr. Caleb Ogenetega. Dr. Ifeoma Oluwashemilore, Mrs. Linda Afios, and Mr. Akim Oguniro. Mr. Akim Oguniro.
These are all members of the Alumni Relations Committee. Caleb, thank you very much. Caleb, those were the people who started off together with Professor Yewo under his supervision, the very active Mutin Society that has taken the Faculty of Law to places. Thank you very much also for responding to the call to take your university and your faculty forward. Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you so much.
Ifeoma. Dr. Ifeoma Oluwashemilore, Head of Secretariat. Thank you so very much. I know that this was a lot of work, and you took the flag from different ends. Thank you so much for the great job that you did. Thank you. Mrs. Linda Alfios. Thank you very much, Mrs. Alfios. Thank you so very much. I think some of the spirits or the stories behind Alumni Relations Committee have to do with Mrs. Alfios' set. Aside from what the class of 80-83 had been doing, they suddenly came on, and when we said to them that the annex needed to be refurbished, they were the class that first donated money for the refurbishment of the annex lecture theater, and all other sets picked up after them, and were able to do that to the tune of about 20 million. Thank you so very much. Her set continues to sponsor indigent law graduates of the faculty to the Nigerian Law School. I think in this current session, they sponsored about 5 to the Nigerian Law School, just to ensure that nobody is left behind. Thank you so very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we welcome Mr. Yinka Oshudino. Mr. Yinka
And I'd like to call the last two people on my list. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me the very distinguished Mr. Akeem Oguniro and the very, very elegant, ever smiling Mrs. Funke Agbo, SAN.
Okay, just hold on. Thank you so very much, Yinka. Yinka was seconded to the Alumni Relations Office Secretariat by Mr. Akeem Ogunimo, and I think for about the last 1 month to 6 weeks, you have been working fully on this project. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Mrs. Agbo. Okay, Mr. Akeem Ogunimo. Mr. Akeem Ogunimo, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Words cannot speak adequately of what you have done to make this happen. Thank you so very much. You not only attended meetings, gave your ideas, you even seconded staff to the Secretariat to ensure that capacity is there to do the work. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Mrs. Agbo, we finally get here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. I don't know why I thought of you. I don't think that we were too well acquainted before then, but I bounced the idea off you, and you told me that it was something that you had been thinking about. Maybe we weren't ready to translate into action, but you sent me that document about how the Harvards of this world and you know what they are worth and largely what can be done. So thank you for starting us in that direction. I know that we're going to offer Nigeria a different model for funding higher education. Thank you so very much.
Can we have all the committee members please come stand to the side? But before then, can we have all the committee members come stand to the side? There was a name we missed out. Can we please welcome Mr. Issa Adedokun? Mr. Issa Adedokun, while the committee members come out to the left-hand side of the hall. Yes, on the stage, please, ma'am. Mr. Issa Adedokun, put your hands together for him, please.
Issa, you've gone through the baptism of fire, and you have come, so congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, I wanted you on stage. And I wanted all the committee members on stage for this last one, because I don't even qualify to talk about him. So you will do us the honors of introducing him and saying a few words about him. But I want all the members of the committee on stage.
Well, I have the great honor and privilege of inviting someone who is a pillar, but I don't think I should do it all alone. And so I would like to invite my dean, the Dean of the Faculty of Law, to join me to do this presentation. I have the honor Thank you very much, Dean. And, I have the honor of inviting to this stage that one person who is like the anchor, the gel for the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos, on the inside and on the outside brings us all together. The one person who could have made this happen, who can call us on the inside and we respond, and call those on the outside and they respond. And that is none other than distinguished Professor T.A.I. Oshikwito, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Chairman, Alumni Relations Committee, the one person that I said, Prof, if this is the last thing you do before retirement, you must get to do this. You must build the alumni committee of the Faculty of Law to be able to take the faculty to the future. I thank you so very much, Prof. Thank you. I know this was a lot of work, and but nobody else could have done it. Thank you for your tenacity. Thank you for your commitment to Faculty of Law over the last how many years now? 40 years of work, and how many years in total? 43. Okay. So thank you so very much, Prof. On behalf of the Alumni Relations Committee, and I'm sure they do not mind us appending Faculty of Law, thank you so very much for making this happen.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I think there's been some oversight. We have missed out 2 names. We have Miss Stella Duru. Stella Duru. Oh, she's gone? She's coming. And then we also have Dr. Edefe Ojomo. And I think that there is Elo 2010 set. Stella?
No, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please join. Maybe you join. Let's this side. Edefe, Dr. Ojomo. I think she stepped out. Okay. So I think we just take the picture so that we can ramp up this. Where's the?
Thank you very much, committee members. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we would like to go straight into the Unilag Law Alumni Association inauguration. May we please receive the very graceful, the very elegant Mrs. Funke Agbo, SAN.
Good evening again, once again, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for staying with us till this time. We've talked a lot about what we're doing here and what an alumni association actually represents. It's actually about cheering on our alma mater, cheering on our faculty of law. It's also about the future, how the past impacts the future. And we've heard various alumni talking about all of this. And I think Professor Oshipito, who is the chairman of the Alumni Relations Committee, has already told us that we want to have a structured, organized alumni association. We've had different alumni classes doing different things for the faculty over time. In fact, I wanted to recognize a particular class, which is recognized by the university as the star flagship class, 80 to 83. And if they're still here, I'd like them to take a bow, because everybody in the faculty and the university actually knows this particular class set for doing wonders and doing all kinds of things for the university. So thank you all very much. Now, I think, so as not to take your time, we want to actually launch or inaugurate the Alumni Association. And I'm going to crave the indulgence of our special guests here present to join me upstage here and make this pronouncement together. So I will be inviting my Lord, Honorable Justice Kudirat Olatokunbo Kekiriekun to join me here. Please welcome her as she comes upstage. I will also be asking Ms. Chief Wole Olanikpekun SAN to join us here as well. Sir, we want to formally inaugurate the Alumni Association. I think we cannot do it without you. So, my Lord, please join me up here, sir. I would also be inviting our chairman of today's dinner, Mr. Kanu Godwin Agabi, SAN, CON, to join us here as well. I would like to also invite, anyway, sir, Mr. H. Odein Ajumogobia, SAN OFR, to join us here, our guest speaker. Thank you very much. I don't know if the dean is still here. He's still here. May I ask the Dean of Law, Chief Professor Ige Bolodioku, to join us as well? And I think I'll just be asking, I think we're all here. I'll be asking each of you to just say a few words, and I think I'll just ask my Lord, Justice Kekiriekun, to actually declare or announce the inauguration of our Alumni Association. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. My words are few. We've heard a lot this evening. The take home is, to whom much is given, much is expected. We are all privileged to have gone through the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos, and it is time to give back. So the Unilag Law Alumni Association, once it's inaugurated now, will be taking charge of all projects that affect the faculty. And we'd like to call on everyone that whenever you are called upon to support this alumni, that we have your full support. And with those few words, it is my honor and privilege to launch or inaugurate the Unilag Law Alumni Association. Thank you very much.
Okay. My Lord, the Honorable Justice of the Supreme Court, I said it all. I cannot say I concur because I'm not a judge, and I don't want to commit any contempt in the face of the court. But my Lord, permit me to say that I agree with you. I adopt what you have said. It's a beautiful thing that tonight we are launching the Alumni Association of the Faculty of Law. And I have the permission of my Lord and other members here to say that the association is born This is a new dawn, beginning of a new era. And things will start changing from now. And then my senior, I didn't meet him at Unilag, Kanu Agabiesi, and just whispered to me now that I should announce that very soon, and very soon hereafter, we'll be having a luncheon. The members of the Unilag Law Faculty Alumni Association will be having a luncheon whereby we'll luncheon and we'll make contributions collectively, individually, in aid of uplifting our university generally and the Faculty of Law specifically. Thank you and welcome to this new dawn.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
When the Vice President spoke, he didn't know who was senior at the bar, whether myself or Wole. Wole is senior to me, so he has spoken for us. Brother Wole, am I right or not? Well, he didn't meet me at Unilag, but he got the rank before me, by virtue of which he becomes my senior. So he has spoken for us. We will come together soon and try to help the faculty as much as we can. When the Vice Chancellor spoke, I felt ashamed. This is actually not just a reunion, it is the return of the prodigal son. The prodigal son is back.
Thank you so much.
Well, when my leader in the bar tells me what to do, I do it. So there's no problem. I'm completely part of this thing and look forward to working together.
Well, in my own case, all I can do is to give thanks, to thank all of the alumni and those of us who are here who have shown commitment to this particular project. The Faculty of Law is a winner today. The students of the faculty are winners, and all of my colleagues are also winners. Now my headache will go down a little bit because I know there's no association that will listen to us at all times, and indeed, from the bottom of my heart, I want to express my gratitude to this Alumni Relations Committee, this initiative, because I know it is a success for us in the faculty. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Oh, there you go. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The Lord bless you. Lord bless
We're going to dance before we go, but before the dance session, we'd like to do the toast. Can we have the glasses charged, please? Can the waiters help us? Can we have all the glasses charged? And so we're going to, I think it was Chief Wole Olanipekun that teased the former governor of Ogun State that he's sure he wished he studied law and not engineering. So it will just be appropriate to honor an engineer in a gathering of lawyers to do the first toast and celebrate the Faculty of Law with us. Please, for the toast to the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos, welcome with me His Excellency Otumba Benga Daniel. Can you please put your hands together for him? Anywhere, sir. Anywhere is fine. Yes.
Thank you. Let me quickly recognize our chairman, highly respected
Kanu Agabi, former Attorney General, our guest speaker, very eminent jurists that are here present, elder statesmen, learned colleagues, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. When my brother and friend said, I will propose a toast today, he said there were three options, either for the Faculty of Law, for the University of Lagos, or for Nigeria. And I said, no, I'm not a lawyer, so don't let me do the one of the Faculty of Law, because I might be tempted to send some slightly abusive words. So let me do Unilag or maybe Nigeria. But I can see a major conspiracy here, because he still insisted I have to propose a toast to the alumni, the law alumni of the University of Lagos. And so here I am, very conscious of the fact that whatever I say can be used as evidence against me. I'm going to be very, very careful. But quite honestly, and on a more serious note, having listened to the guest speaker with his reminiscences about what has happened while he was at the university, having listened to also Professor Shipiton, and of course, one of the most inspiring speeches I've had in recent times is the one that was delivered by His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic. I really think that they have really done the toast, they've done the needful. But I must not fail by reminding all of us that if you enter the University of Lagos, as you drive towards the Senate building, there is what they call the academic north, that's on the left. And the academic south, where some of us belong, is on the right. Engineering, architecture, computer sciences, chemical engineering, and so on and so forth. But what we noticed while we were at school is that at the academic north, while we still worry, doing our projects, reading, up until Friday, Saturday, people on the north start their weekend by Thursday. And we used to, and they even tell us, look, those of you at the south, don't bother about student unionism. If you go there, you will not pass. So we also leave that for people on the right side of that main entrance into the university. But here we are. Some of us who went and studied engineering, I had thought today, I'm going to talk. I'm going to remind them of Professor Ayodele Awujobi, Professor Ogun, Professor Oguye, Professor Enahoro. And by the time I read them out, these lawyers will have nothing to say. But unfortunately, listening to the VP, I concur. Without any doubt, I feel particularly proud that the law faculty of the University of Lagos is clearly number one anywhere in this country. And I cannot say more other than to continue to encourage you that you continue to be the shining light in our environment. I don't want to say that the executive have failed. Let me put this out, the executive could have done better. I don't want to say that the legislature have failed. Let me say they could do better. But I think the hope in our country lies in the fact that whatever mistakes that has occurred or is coming from the executive and from the legislature, the hope of this country is in the judiciary. And from what I have said and what I have seen, it's very clear to me that the bulk of the Nigerian judiciary as it is today have their roots at the University of Lagos. Based on what my Lord, the eminent jurists have said, to whom much is given, much is clearly desired. So I just want to charge you, members of this great citadel, that it's all in your hand, to your good health, as we pass the alumni of the University of Lagos Law Alumni of the Faculty of Law. Cheers. You have to sit. Please sit down.
Hey, a jolly good fellow. Hey, a jolly good fellow. Hey, a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. And so say all of us. Hooray! And so say all of us. Hey, a jolly good fellow. But they a jolly good fellow. But they a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us.
And to toast to the University of Lagos, may we welcome Mr. Dan Agbo, Senior Partner, Udo, Udoma, and Bedo Osage, also the Chairman, UAC PLC, Mr. Dan Agbo. Can we put our hands together for Mr. Dan Agbo?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. I think it is fitting that I'm being asked to propose a toast to the University of Lagos as opposed to the Faculty of Law of the University of Lagos, because if the truth be told, I have never set foot in the Faculty of Law of the University of Lagos, so I would be an imposter if I did so. But I have the next best thing, which is I'm married well. And I married a wife who is an eminent representative of the Faculty of Law of the University of Lagos. I also did well because my first real job in Lagos was with a certain firm by the name of Ajumogobia and Okeke, which took the risk of hiring me as their first associate, and whose co-founder, is also a distinguished alumnus of the University of Lagos. I have also had the good fortune over the years of acquiring friends who have traveled through the University of Lagos, and I suppose there's a little bit of University of Lagos in me that I have acquired by osmosis. So, while, as the Vice President said while he was here, I went to one of those other universities, permit me to take the liberty tonight, notwithstanding the fact that I stand here as a bit of an imposter, permit me, if I take the liberty tonight, to propose a toast to this great institution, okay? I'd be grateful if you could join me in standing to propose a toast. A toast to the University of Lagos, to a glorious past and to an even more glorious future, University of Lagos.
And so say all of us, and so say all of us, and so say all of us. Hey, a jolly good fellows, they a jolly good fellows, but they a jolly good fellows. And so say all. of us.
Thank you, Vintage Band. And for the last and final toast for the night, the toast to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And it will be taken by the Honorable Justice herself, who is here actually in company of her husband, Mr. Akin Kekere Ekun. Ladies and gentlemen, for the toast tonight, please celebrate and welcome with me the Honorable Justice Kudirat Tokunbo Kekere Ekun.
Good evening once again, everyone. I stand on the existing protocols, but indulge me to recognize my husband, Mr. Akin Kekere Ekun. He's always very, very supportive, and I must acknowledge that. We all know the Nigeria of our dreams. We know what we want for Nigeria. We have said here this evening how much has been given to us, and my belief is that we ourselves must be the change that we want to see in our great country, Nigeria. Nigeria cannot be great unless we make it great. Nobody is going to make it great for us. And all of us here, or at least a lot of us here, knew the Nigeria of the past where merit outweighed every other consideration, where we were all one. In school, we hardly knew who came from which part of the country. And that is the Nigeria we would like to see in the future. So let us all do our bit to make Nigeria what we want it to be, a united, secure, and happy nation. Please join me in charging our glasses to propose a toast to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. To the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
I like more. I like more. I like more. I like more. Me, I like Nigeria. I know could leave Nigeria. Everything is there for Nigeria. Make me join hands to make Nigeria better.
Thank you very much. May we welcome, for the vote of thanks on behalf of the Alumni Relations Committee, please welcome with me Mrs. Linda Afios. Mrs. Linda Afios for the vote of thanks. Please put your hands together for her. And the Vintage Band is on standby to make us dance the night away.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I humbly apply to stand on the existing protocol. When I was in the Nigerian law school, we were taught that an after-dinner speech must be like a lady's skirt. In other words, it must be long enough to cover the subject matter and short as not to become boring. So I can assure you that this vote of thanks is going to be like a lady's skirt. We want to thank the Almighty God who made it possible for us to gather here tonight. Like our chairman told you, we started this journey sometime in 2019 when our learned Professor Ashenuwa brought us together and said we should organize a homecoming. With the help of God, we have been able to do that. We thank God for what you are seeing today. We thank God for a week-long activities because all of it was successful. The story of the homecoming is like what the Holy Book said. Paul planted, Apollos watered, and God gave the increase. In this particular case, Professor Ashenuwa planted the seed, Professor Bolodoku watered the seed, and with the help of God, the Alumni Relations Committee brought about the increase. We thank you all for being here today. Everybody who is here today, who qualified to be here today, is a testimony that, in the words of our Vice President, you went to the right university. Please congratulate yourself for going to the right university. Congratulations to every one of us. I know if you did not go to the right university, you are probably here because you married somebody who went to the right university. So congratulate yourself all the same. We want to thank the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our special guest,
for being here today. We want to thank the chairman of the homecoming dinner. We want to thank our special guests. We want to thank the VC, the Vice Chancellor, University of Lagos, for accommodating us. Without his permission, we would not have been able to do what we did. We want to also thank the members of the judiciary here, honorable members of the bar. We thank you all for coming. We want to thank the senior advocates of Nigeria here present. We want to thank the university community. We want to thank our dean, the dean of the Faculty of Law, who worked with us, who helped us. He was with us throughout the program. He supported us. He helped us. Thank you, sir, for making it possible. We want to thank the students, the present students, for being here. Without them, it wouldn't have been possible. We appreciate you. We know that we have impacted something in your lives, and one day you will be greater than where we are today. We also want to thank everybody who came here today. We want to thank you for being here. Without you, it wouldn't have been a success. We want to thank all those who donated. Much as we appreciate the Alumni Relations Committee, we know without the help of our friends who donated money towards the program, some people donated money, some people helped in kind. We want to appreciate every one of you. We pray that the Almighty God will bless each and every one of you. And most especially, we appreciate the Alumni Relations Committee. They gave their time, they gave their money, they gave their all to make sure that this program is a success today. We know that going forward, we will do better. The VC has given us a marching order, and I'm glad to say that we have started marching on the order, and we are going to surpass his expectations. Thank you, sir, for the marching order you have given us. Thank you, everyone here. Thank you, one and all. And finally, I want to say, please do not be in a hurry to go. It is a homecoming. When you come home, you relax and enjoy yourself. I want to charge you, relax, let off your guards, dance, enjoy yourself. Today is your day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. It's a homecoming. Somebody left their phone behind. Please, if you're looking for your phone, come with proof of ownership, your NIN number, your birth certificate, your ATM PIN, just to identify your phone so you can take your phone away. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been an amazing audience. You've been wonderful. I'd like to say a big thank you to the committee of the Homecoming 2022 Homecoming for having me as a host. My name is Dekpasios Bose, and it's been a privilege. God bless you. Have a fantastic trip home. Thank you very much. And I hand you over to the very amazing Vintage Band as we dance the night away.
About myself for seeing no mind on. When you saw me good for cheating, about myself for seeing no mind on. When you saw me good for cheating, Sissy Joe, no mind on. I'm a dashery. Messiah, go for me now, I'm a Shelly, Sissy, Sissy, Jawa, go for me Baba. Somebody, man take a come down here. I'm a better in one morning. Everybody say, vintage. Say she know what it looks like. And the bring out the way. See me now. Everybody goes down. Hey, sama, hey. Like that. I won't focus on you, oh God. I get it, and it's over. And it's over. Oh, I get it, and it's over. And it's over. Oh, yeah, let's say, I can't go. I come first. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I'm not coming. Boy, you wanna go all and sexy, man, this kind dance, you dance, and the way you sing, the way you dance is sexy, man. Why you fall and sexy, man? Boy, you wanna go all and sexy, man, this kind dance, you dance, and the way you sing, why you wanna give me something, show up on us, why you give me something, yeah. Why you wanna give me something, oh yeah. Show up on us, why you give me something, 1, 2, 3, let's go. I want to get some sense. Oh, boy, still fuck that.